really appreciated hearing from the chair what you should be expecting from a Democratic committee member at the state level. So we want to get on now with hearing from the committee members, the candidates for the state committee. And as I mentioned, we're recording. We'll take this segment of the candidates and get it up pretty quickly on our YouTube channel and get the link out to everybody. There are 12 candidates running. There are 9 seats. We have it looks like we have 7 of the 12 candidates here tonight. Okay, let's get on with hearing from the candidates because the time is, yeah. Okay, that's the club. We're going to talk about what the ward is doing tonight. And Ryan Herbinko is our first male candidate. So come on up, Ryan.
All right, I'll try to be quick because it is hot in here. No, I'll keep it on. Yeah, nobody needs to see that. There's a lot of sweat stains there. My name's Ryan Herbinko, and I'm running for my 3rd term on state committee. Hard to believe, 8 years ago, I was standing in front of you guys for the first time, sweating my butt off, and nervous as all hell. But I've gotten to know you guys over the last 8 years. Most of you get my letters. If you're on committee currently, when I ran 8 years ago and when I ran 4 years ago, I made a promise to you all that I'd be open, accessible, and transparent with all my votes and what was going on at state committee. And I think I fulfilled that promise. But for those new people, Eugene did a great job explaining about state committee, but I'll expand on that a little bit further, where you local committee people are the bridge between everyone and your local politicians. We are the bridge between you and our state officials. So if you have an issue that you want to bring up to a state official or you see something, talk to me. I'm as open as you possibly could be. A little bit of background about myself. I'm a lifelong resident of 31st Ward. I'm the chair of my local committee up there. I also run the community group up there. In my professional life, I'm an attorney by trade. I'm the chief legal counsel at the county controller's office. You guys have honored me for the last 8 years with your vote, and I hope you do so again. Thank you very much. And any questions? You're welcome. Oh, great. Great. You're welcome. All right. Thanks, Liz.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so that was Ryan Herbinko. Our next candidate is Ian Price. And
thank you, Liz. And let me say that Liz has been a really wonderful partner to coordinate with all these years. My name's Ian Price. Hopefully you know me at this point. If not, come say hello after. I come out of the activism space, which makes me a much different type of Democrat in a certain way. So I've been working in LGBTQ activism since probably 2000, 2001. I was actually tabling during 9/11. That was really odd. If that really like puts me anywhere. And then around 2016, I pivoted to say I don't just want to knock doors. I really want to do something for my city, for the Democratic Party. And then I'm currently the chair of the Steel City Stonewall Democrats. And Ryan is right; it is really hot right here. And, you know, I've been with the Stonewall Democrats for several years now. I've been on the county committee. I'm my local committee's treasurer, as long as they'll have me, hopefully not that much longer. And on the state committee, I function on the LGBTQ caucus. But also, it's very important for me to understand a lot of the different caucuses. So if you ever see my reports, sometimes you'll see that I've gone to the Black Caucus, Latino Caucus, New American Caucus to see what's important to them. And I think one of the things that's really important about being on state committee is not just the accountability to you, which I am accountable to you. But I think it's also very important that we work on our regional organizing, make sure that we win statewide, not just in Pittsburgh, but in Pennsylvania.
That was Ian Price. Our next candidate is Ross Tedder. Come on up, Ross.
Good evening. Evening. Yeah, thank you guys for having me in this very hot room. Although it has cooled down a little bit, my sweat stains are almost not visible. Yes, but my name is Ross Tedder. I come today seeking your vote for state committee. I am not one of the 9 endorsed members of the county party. However, I'm still here today because I believe that my message will resonate with some people. I've been in organizing when I was a much younger man. By much younger man, I mean 19, which was only 6 years ago or 7 years ago. I got my start working with then state rep Summerlee, and then working on a ballot initiative countywide to end solitary confinement, right? So I got my starts in the streets. I got my starts really doing door-to-door grassroots organizing. My current 9 to 5, I work for the Alliance for Police Accountability, building deep canvassing programs, really to do outreach to folks who are not regular voters, in particular Black, brown, and economically disadvantaged voters, right? And I think we have to bring that strategy, we have to bring the ethos present in the organizing world into the party, right, at a higher level. I don't think I had to explain to people in this room the stakes of the moment that we're in politically on a national level, right? For those of us whose family ended up in Pittsburgh for fleeing some form of tyranny, right? It's a very scary moment, right? Whenever you look and see the ways in which that, for me as a Black person whose grandmother came here from Alberta, Virginia as a sharecropper, right? Seeing the ways that Black people are being rewritten into society, right? Is scary, right? For those of us in this room, right, who have Jewish heritage, hearing the president say that we want a list of all the Jewish students at a university, I'm sure it's terrifying, right? So we're in a very tough moment right now. The way to have cohesion with that, though, is a strong party. I think we need to increase who we do outreach to. We need to make sure that our messaging appeals to a broad base of people. That's the only way to have a strong party. I want to do that by making sure that our state committee is doing outreach to a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. That was Ross Tedder. Our next candidate is Tracy Baton. We're now on to the women. And for the 9 positions, they will elect the top 4 women, the top 4 men, and then the 9th candidate will be the remaining candidates, the one with the highest number of votes.
Thank you, Liz, and just thank you for everything you do. It's been extraordinary to work with you. My name is Tracy Baton, and I'm often a person who speaks without introduction. I introduce others. So briefly, I grew up in Harrisburg and moved to Pittsburgh when I was 7. I marched on Washington with my mother and my grandmother. I lived in Pittsburgh's historic Hill District. I organized with the O's and Am's Strings as a child, and I went to school at Beth Shalom. So I always knew where Squirrel Hill was. It was a long bus ride away from the Hill District. We moved to Squirrel Hill when I was in high school. I'm a student, Go Dragons, Taylor Alderdice, and I've lived in the 14th Ward in addition. And in college, I went to the University of Pittsburgh, graduated Phi Beta Kappa summa cum laude, and lived on Beechwood Boulevard. I then went to South Africa. I am a Fulbright Fellow. I studied African women's history in South Africa. I have a master's in African history, a master's in cultural anthropology. I later moved to Pittsburgh, had 3 babies, and got a master's in social work. I'm a clinical social worker and your neighbor. I don't often introduce myself. I am excited about politics because this is what I've always done. At Alderdice, I helped organize the NOW chapter. At college, I helped fight apartheid and Pitt divested. And then it was a life-changing thing for me to succeed and to have the provost apologize and buy us fancy cheese. We got good cheese and an apology, and I knew you could do things and you could get the cheese in the end. So I saw South Africa and apartheid at my eyes, and I came home 8 months pregnant with Pittsburgh's child. And I came here and I had a Pittsburgh girl in the most dangerous place in America for a Black woman to have a baby, and I was scared. And it was real. And it was like, it was anthropology, but it was real. So when my neighbors and we saw Trump rising, I accidentally staggered into a meeting and became director of the Women's March Washington, Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh proudly stand up. I invite all of you to stand up and I ask you for your vote. I'm just proud to be your neighbor here in the 14th Ward. Thank you.
So that's Tracy Baton. You may also know her as the person who organizes the No Kings demonstrations here in Pittsburgh. Very successful No Kings demonstrations. Barbara Ernstberger was going to run out and go to Penn Hills and come back. So she's not in the room right now. So we're going to skip over her. Tracey Holst. Here you go, Tracy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Liz. It's always a pleasure to be in a room of like-minded people. And Ryan, I did take off my jacket because I was sweating too. So thank you. So my name is Tracey Holst. I am one of the 9 endorsed candidates that's running. I currently live in Penn Hills. I am on the Democratic committee there, and I'm the secretary of the Penn Hills Community Development Corporation. I previously lived in Oakmont, where I served on council, and I was the secretary of the Oakmont Democratic Committee. And then I also served on a number of different committees as far as, with the Riverview Action Committee and a number of things. So volunteerism is my thing. I really do like to be involved in a lot of different things. So I am education-wise, I have my bachelor's in human resources, master's in labor relations, and I have a doctorate in organizational leadership. My profession is I'm a vice president of human resources for a local bank. Personal, I am married with 2 grown married daughters, and I have a grandson. As empty nesters, my husband and I moved from Oakmont to Penn Hills because we adopted 3 crazy dogs, and I did see somebody with a dog shirt on. So I am an animal lover through and through. So my why for running, it really is to be a voice that brings our people together in our district. I really want to help ensure that we are set up for success for the future elections and really kind of do some grassroots organizing. It's been my pleasure getting to know all these committees and really kind of meeting with them and stuff like that. So I'm really thankful for that. I do want to help move our party forward in a way that reflects our shared values, because I think that's extremely important. I think a number of candidates have said, as I will say, I have 15 seconds left. But no, thank you. Ted, thank you very, very much. It's been my pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And Eileen, I know, was traveling with Barbara Ernstberger, so Eileen Kelly isn't in the room right now. And that concludes the candidates who are actually with us. Eileen and Barbara were here earlier. There was a concurrent meeting going on in Penn Hills, and I think they were hoping they were going to run there and come back. Yeah. Committee members may remember that Barbara Ernstberger and Eileen Kelly were here at our last meeting, and they both, I forget whether they spoke or introduced themselves briefly. Oh, are they arriving? Oh, I'm sorry. Melanie, I'm sorry you hadn't checked in. Let me just put you right there. I'm sorry. Melanie Pallone is here. And Melanie is a candidate running for state committee. And come on up, Melanie. You have the ground rules. You have 2 minutes. And Chris is going to let you know when your time is up.
I apologize. I'm very, very nervous about being on camera. And I tried to tell Liz that. So I did not prepare anything. I prefer to speak to people one-on-one.
But our cameras all together.
I have seen a number of you in various locations, in various progressive activities for most of my life, which has encompassed about 25 years of activism. And I don't know all of you, but I can honestly say that I've always admired the 14th Ward. I had a dear friend who was involved, Irene McLaughlin-Clark, for a while, and got to know a little bit of what you've done through her. Very briefly about myself, I'm not going to tell you everything I've done, which is everything from being a bartender to having a PhD in criminology. I am not afraid to try things. And I'm trying this not because it's just something to do, but because I believe it's the accumulation of everything I've worked on in my life. I'm a lot older than I look. I do believe in rights. I believe in gay rights, LGBTQ rights. I believe in animals' rights. I am a protector of the environment. Everyone is of equal value. We do not and should not put anyone's life above anyone else's. I know that sounds pretty philosophical, but with all those rules, it makes sense. Briefly, I am a generation, and I bet you, I will bet my life that everyone in this room is a descendant of an immigrant. And that is really, truly what makes this country great. I mean, we have okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, the right for anyone to come to this country freely, not in chains, and the rights. And so I think we should welcome them to our community because that's what makes this country also makes this country.
Thank you, Melanie. I apologize that I very unintentional. So with that, that concludes our the state committee candidates. Greg will pull this down and we'll get it up on YouTube real quickly and send it out to everybody. Because I think in these very low information races, it's very hard to be able to make any kind of a judgment or discrimination between candidates. You get to elect 9, so you get to elect a fairly large number. And what we were hoping to be able to do was to be able to give you some information about the candidates that will help you be able to make an informed choice, and that you'll share that with voters.